Boosie is definitely one of the long lost Ninja Turtles. But I need y'all to stop acting like this is about a pool party because it's absolutely not. Honestly, I don't even think that it's about trans people or trans women or men. I think that it's about ticket sales. Now, before y'all go to typing, Boosie can invite whoever he wants to his party. If he wants to throw a party for people named Charles who own a red Honda Civic and wear tube socks, that's his business. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is why every single time this man starts slipping out of the public consciousness, he got to drag a trans issue back into the conversation with him. And at this point, the pattern is the pattern. And the pattern is exhausting because what I'm noticing is that whenever the music ain't making enough noise, whenever the headlines ain't hitting the same, whenever the attention starts drying up, somehow trans folks end up being his emergency road flare. And that shit is weird. And I'm sorry, but it's weird as fuck. And if you don't think it's weird, you're probably weird too. Now, especially from somebody or people who claim that they don't want to be bothered with us. You see, where I'm from, if I don't like somebody, I leave them the fuck alone. I don't keep checking on them. I don't keep talking about them. I don't go out of my way to make announcements about them. I'm not making content or posting videos. I keep building, and I don't build entire strategies around them. I move on with my life. But some of y'all spend more time thinking about trans people than trans people spend time thinking about trans people. And that's where I start to get a little concerned. Not politically, but psychologically. Because healthy people don't organize their lives around people that they supposedly hate. That's just not what we do. That's not what we do. But then there's the part that nobody's talking about. So let me say it. What happens when people actually show up? Right? Everybody gonna be there looking around, trying to figure out who's trans and if somebody actually snuck in. Everybody becomes a detective. Now we checking jawlines and hands and voices and staring at women that we've never met, trying to determine whether or not they qualify for womanhood. And y'all do realize how insane that shit sounds. Y'all paid money to go to a party and end up conducting gender investigations the entire time. So congratulations, you killed your entire vibe and now everything's weird. But here's the kicker. It don't just stop with trans women because even though the girls may not show up, I want you to understand that once you teach people to scrutinize women, they scrutinize all of us. The women with the broad shoulders, the women with the deep voice, the women who's 6 feet tall, the women that don't wear makeup, the women who are just women but don't fit your idea of what women's supposed to be doing. Not everybody ends up under surveillance. And these are how this always goes, right? And truthfully, the saddest part is watching grown ass men build careers around being bothered as fuck. Because if trans women were really such a tiny, insignificant part of your life, then why do we keep showing up in your content strategies? Why are we always a part of the rollout? Why are we always in the promo packages? Why are we always a part of your sales pitch? Because, baby, at some point, you got to admit that it's giving fixation. And at some point, you got to admit that it's giving obsession. And at some point, it's giving that trans women are doing more for your engagement than your actual events. And that's a conversation that y'all ain't ready to have. But until then, I'll wait.